Hey everyone, Joe here, welcome to the channel. Hey, today we're going to be taking a look at some real-world test results between two popular oil brands, Mobil One and Amsoil. So more specifically, we'll be looking at the Mobil One Advance versus the Amsoil Signature Series. So which one is right for you? Well, let's start with a quick overview. Mobil One is one of the most recognized names in the automotive industry, backed by ExxonMobil. They've been around for decades and are known for their high-performance synthetic oils that are widely available and trusted by car manufacturers worldwide. On the other hand, Amsoil has been the first company to bring synthetic motor oil to the public in 1972. They focus heavily on producing premium products with an emphasis on performance, particularly in extreme conditions. Amsoil isn't as widely available, but it does have a loyal following. Mobil One users often rave about the consistent performance and reliability, especially for everyday driving. But those who use Amsoil frequently highlight its durability and long-lasting protection, especially in harsh driving conditions. So next, let me explain how I'm going to compare these two brands of oils. I was looking for some real-world results, so using my personal vehicle, I first put in Mobil One, drove it for a set number of miles. After that, I drained the oil and pulled a sample to be sent off to the lab for analysis. Next, I refilled with Amsoil, drove the same number of miles, drained the oil, and pulled a sample. Again, sent this second sample off to the lab for oil analysis. Is this a perfect experiment? No. Did I flush the engine between oil changes? No. But I did let the warm oil drain for at least 20 minutes. Any residual oil left in the engine I feel is minimal and would have little effect on the results, since this engine does hold a total of 6 quarts. Should you base your decision on the findings of this one test? No. Will there be variables? Of course, yes. This is real world, not a lab simulated controlled test. With that said, I try to keep the variables to a minimum. I'm the only driver of this vehicle. I have a driving routine from week to week that is very consistent with similar driving conditions. And I kept notes on anything different that I did between the two oil change intervals. So for the used oil analysis, I did send samples out to two different companies, one being Blackstone and the other one being Speed Diagnostic. Surprisingly, the Blackstone came back quicker, and I really didn't want to wait on the Speed Diagnostic to get this video out. But what I'll do is when it does arrive, I'll do another video and I'll actually compare the two different companies, and I'll be sure to include this report on this vehicle. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Alright, well, let's take a look at the lab report. This first section here will kind of explain or show what elements or metals that are in the oil. And this bottom section here will show the properties or the physical condition of the oil. Now, something that you want to look at under these properties are contaminants such as fuel, antifreeze, and water. And as you can tell by this report here, over to the columns to the right, we have 0 issues with this engine. And the low percentage of insolubles tells us that the OEM air and oil filter are doing their job. Now, coming back up here to the top section, these first few items here highlighted are what you consider your wear elements. These are typically coming from the engine. So aluminum found in the engine oil would be coming from your pistons, aluminum engine blocks, certain type of bearings, and oil coolers. Chromium almost always comes from your piston rings. Iron will come from your cylinder liners, camshaft lobes, crankshaft journals, oil pumps. And then copper, lead, and tin typically comes from your bearings, and lead can come from gas octane additives as well. Coming back to the report, and I apologize, my cursor is not working for some reason, but this first column are the results from the Amsoil, and then the third column over would be from the Mobil One. On the Amsoil, I drove a total of 6,144 miles, and then on the Mobil One, 6,163. Now, one noted variable, we do have a travel trailer that we take camping periodically for short trips. On the Mobil One, we did a short trip where we towed 169 miles. And then we took a second trip while running the Amsoil, where we drove 329 miles. So a little more additional towing miles on the Amsoil. Now, looking at the data on this report, I'm primarily interested in the wear components. Now, your oil companies will put what they call an additive package into their oil. This would consist of the elements here down below, the zinc, calcium, magnesium, potassium, so on. But again, I'm primarily focused on these top 6 wear elements. So let's take a little closer look. Again, on the first column, we're looking at the Amsoil. And according to this report, on the sample I supplied, there were 5 parts per million of aluminum, compared to 4 parts per million coming from the Mobil One sample. Chromium, neither oils had this element in it. Iron was the same as 6 parts per million. Copper, 2 parts per million, both samples. And then no lead or tin were found in either of the 2 samples. Now, on this report, I have data from previous samples that I performed on this same vehicle. This was a mixture of Mobil One, Pennzoil, Valvoline. And based on a margin of error and also possible variables, these numbers seem to be fairly consistent. And I have yet to find an engine oil that did not perform. So coming back to the results of the Amsoil versus the Mobil One, and based on the margin of error, really not seeing a difference here. Would we have seen a larger difference if I extended the oil change to 8 or 10,000 miles? Good question. I'd like to hear your comments down below in regards to this. Now, looking at the cost between these two, at the time of this video, Mobil One was $8.99 a quart, Amsoil was $15.29. So, is there a winner? I'll let you decide. So, hope this comparison helps you make a more informed decision. Let me know what oil you're using in the comments below and why. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tips and reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.